everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a new feature today, and that is my debut showcase feature. I have been debating whether or not to bring this to Booktube because I've been doing the feature on my blog, or I had been doing it for a while, and 2020 was the year that I was bringing it back to my blog, and I thought maybe I could do a crossover on Booktube. Basically, debut showcase is exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to be showcasing, featuring some debuts that are coming out in 2020, and I'm going to be doing this every single month. It's kind of like my new releases video where I compile a list, tell you a bit about the book, and hopefully hype it up a bit. I really enjoy supporting debut authors, so I'm really glad that I've got the chance to do this. I have read a few of these books that I'm going to mention already, so I can give you an actual mini review of them instead of just saying why I'm excited for them. I do have a more in-depth blog post on this topic on my blog. I will leave a link to it below, and you can go and read about what you can expect from debut showcase, what's coming in the future, some ideas that I have that I'd like some feedback on, also why I'm bringing back this feature now because it's a bit of a strange time to do it, but there we are. In terms of this feature on Booktube, I'm just going to be doing a list of the debut books that are coming out each month and hyping them up for you. The first debut I'm going to talk about is Woven in Moonlight. I do have an advanced reader's copy of this one, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm picking up I think next week ready for the blog tour, and I am so excited to do so. This is a YA fantasy book inspired by Bolivian history and politics. That's all I really needed to know before I picked it up. It's going to be a standalone fantasy. It features a masked vigilante, which is always fun, and it's also an own voices book. I thought that the premise for this one sounded a little bit like Star Wars, and let me tell you why. I'm just going to try to read you the first sentence, but there are some fantasy names I'm not too sure about. Xymena is the decoy Condesa. I'm so sorry I've fucked this up already. A stand-in for the last remaining Illustrium Royal. Her people lost everything when the usurper used an ancient relic to summon ghosts and drive the Illustrians from La Ciudad. Now the main character is motivated by her insatiable thirst for revenge and her rare ability to spin thread from Moonlight. Okay, so the bit that reminded me of Star Wars was basically the fact that the main character is a stand-in or a decoy. That's a trope that always gets to me. I don't know about you, but it's always a really interesting trope. The next debut that I want to talk about is also coming out on the 7th, so I don't actually know when this video is going up. Maybe it's already out by now, and that is Nameless Queen. This one is also standalone fantasy, which is always great. I think there might be a spin-off book planned if this book does well. It's a young adult fantasy about a peasant girl who becomes the ultimate ruler. The author has also been mentored by Laura Stephen, so if that doesn't get you hyped up, then I don't know what will. Then there is Three Things I Know Are True, which is a novel, a YA contemporary novel written in verse, and this one is about a main character whose brother has become paralysed because he was playing around with a gun, shot himself, well, paralysed himself really. It's very topical, but it doesn't really get political. It's just topical because of all the gun law stuff and gun violence going on in the US right now, and the author doesn't really side one way or another. I think you can tell where her feelings lie, but she doesn't tell you what to think. It just brings up both sides of the debate, explains why gun laws should maybe be a bit more restricted. It was super emotional. I really enjoyed it. My review should be up on my blog by now if you want to go and check it out. Also coming out on the 7th of January is Loveboat Taipei. This one is about Taiwanese American main character who goes on a trip abroad to Taipei. It's kind of like a summer camp, and it has been likened to Crazy Rich Asians, which I think is hilarious. It's a very entertaining rom-com. I didn't really personally enjoy it, but I know a lot of people have, so I'm probably just not the right audience for it. The next couple of books are coming out on the 14th of January, and the first one is Black Girl Unlimited, which is a YA portal fantasy / magical realism. I've been promised a lot of rich people drama with this one, and I am super excited to pick it up. I haven't seen many people talk about it. I think it's flying under people's radars, but I have a feeling this one's going to be really good. Prized Girl, which is an adult thriller, and I do have a review copy of this one, but as of right now I haven't picked it up. I think this one is dual narration. It goes back and forth in time. We see probably the lead up to whatever happens, the murder. I don't really read synopses of thriller books, so I'm being intentionally vague here. It's set in a small New England town, and I think a teen pageant queen is involved, so maybe this pageant queen gets murdered. Moving on to the 21st of January, there are a couple of hyped up books that I want to mention. The first one is Tweak You, and this is one that everyone is talking about, and it's one that Macmillan denied me absolutely everywhere, so I'm not bitter, I'm just a bit sad. Maybe Macmillan should be excited that people want to read their books. That was so bitchy. Tweet Cute is about two rival teenagers who kind of argue with one another on social media. They both run the Twitter accounts for their respective families' restaurants, and they get into it. There's a rivalry and a bit of hate to love there. From what I can tell, the main character's romance is kind of hate to love plus overachiever meets class clown, which is always a trope that I love. Absolutely everyone who I have talked to has loved this book. I'm really jealous that you managed to get a copy of it, and I am so excited. I'm going to be reading this one as soon as it comes out and getting a review out there, because I think this one sounds like kind of contemporary that I need right now. I can really relate to viral Twitter wars, and it also sounds super cheesy. The other one is Layoverland, which I think I also requested and got denied. This one is said to be good for fans of The Good Place. From what I can tell, that the main character dies and is put into purgatory, and I think she dies in a car accident, and then she meets in purgatory the guy who killed her, and she probably has to like forgive him or something to move on to wherever. I'm not entirely sure, but it sounds super sassy. One of the quotes that I've written down from Goodreads says it's darkly hilarious, and I think it's probably about second chances, so I'm looking forward to this one. It should be a quick read, and I'm hoping to read it when it comes out. Finally, the last book comes out on the 28th of January, and it's one that I just read a couple of weeks ago, and that is Diamond City. This one is YA fantasy. The main character is an assassin, and she lives in Diamond City. She is told by her boss to go and kill this really important guy. She basically messes it up, and she has to go ahead and fix that, except then she's disowned by her boss, and then everyone starts coming after her. It's a very, very fast-paced book. I really enjoyed it. There is some emotional and physical abuse in there, so I would be careful going into it if those are the sorts of things that get to you. The main character has been and is being manipulated by her boss for quite a while, and it takes her some time to get over that and to see what had been happening, but thankfully she's got a group of friends who help her out, and it's a really good book. I gave it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this one. Those are the debuts that are coming out in January 2020. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below which ones you're most excited for, and I'll speak to you in my next video. Bye!